What are we going to see today? Number 1, new model. Number 2, light bakes and how I struggle to make them. Number 3, tiling in shader graph. And last, do those changes even make sense? I did really enjoy the old model with exception of few glitches. However, there is one enormous no-go in here. This model is lacking of UV mapping and textures. And my graphic artist told me that this will take substantial time to make this. And without those, I really can't bake lights. I will explain light baking later. First, let's go to the model. So I went to the asset store and found a perfect solution for my project. This asset in here looks just great. It is what I need. Let me show you what happens when you try to purchase an asset on Unity store. You have to fill this form, which is pretty straightforward. Wait, are you exempt from paying consumption tax? Nani? Okay, hold your horses in here. I will show you a simulation of what happened. Let's write an email to my accountant. It's Friday, 4 PM. There is no way she has something else on her mind, like going home or doing whatever. That means I will get my response immediately, right? I guess you have already guessed that I make a terrible mistake in here. And it took one thing in consideration. People have something so-called life, so I had to wait. And then the Monday came, and my accountant told me that it's all about pressing the yes button. I don't know why, but right now we can go to the Unity part. Now, a quick 10-second theorem on light baking. GPU's processing power isn't infinite, so the amount of light you can simulate on a scene is kind of limited. Developers do cheat this by painting lights directly on a texture, so they don't have to calculate them in real time. Damn, I didn't make it in 10 seconds. It took me 11. So this is the screen that I created in order to show you the light bakes. As you can see on the left there is environment with light bakes, and on the right there are none. Now let me tell you about the requirements to bake lightnings in Unity. Let us start with directional light. This one guy in here will lit every object that is on a scene. And I want this game to be in kind of dark moody style, so I set the color of this light to the darkest of all. To black! Now every piece of the environment, except those with static lightings, is kind of dark. It produces a little minor problem in here. Cars also went black and you can't see anything on them. I just changed their shader to be not affected by light. But now they are not casting any shadows. Is it a problem now? Of course it's a problem. There's nothing like future me or something. Funny thing is that I found out that the black light just doesn't cast shadows in Unity. I was looking for solutions on the internet and it would be best to write your own shader, but I will not go into this direction. There is also no simple way to set the light to only cast shadow and not contributing to the color of the existing environment. It took me a few hours to think of the solution for this problem with searching on the internet how to solve it. Of course, it was the most simple one. First, I will change the lighting color from black to white, and then we will reduce its intensity to the lowest possible so we can still see shades. Next thing is I had to make few changes in my card shader. I had to set it to the lit mode, which will expose additional properties, like emission with which I will be playing in the future. And the second thing is that I had to multiply the result of the shader calculations. In lit mode it is affected by light, and since the light is really low in the scene it was not visible. So let's start once more. As I did mention earlier, there is a directional light. It does not contribute to the bakes, however it affects the results. Next light that I'm using is the spotlight in the middle of a scene. To make light participate in baking process, I must set it to the baked mode. And the last one are the runes light. They do create this nice glowing effect, which you can see in here. And the last thing is that I marked object that I want to participate in bakes as a static. And the last thing for today will be runes. The way that they did came in a package was without the styling effect. Also I wanted to have a higher contrast on their emission. So I did open the texture inside of Py.net program and used this level adjustment stuff, which allowed me to get a higher contrast on the texture, which now serves as my new emission map. Allow me to make a jump into the shader graph. Making a tiling effect in a shader graph is kind of simple. Only one thing you have to do is to make the UV of the main texture movable. We will use tiling at offset node for this. And what we are looking for is the offset parameter. We want it to change its value in response to the time. So we just take a time node, plug into the vector2 node and multiply it by our attribute which is outside of the graph. We do the same thing for emission and voila, it's working. There's only one question left. Do you think those changes are improvement or are they not? Please leave your opinion in the comment. I will be going right now. See ya and bye!